Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to Chicago Karl. I'm Chicago Karl, and as you saw from the title of today's video, we're going to be predicting the National League West today. We're going to be going over standings predictions, running over team rosters, and going into their specific standings placements. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off, we're going to have in first place the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm predicting them to go for a 105-57 record. Yes, you heard that right. I think they're going to get more than 100 wins. This roster is the definition of stacked in every single form of that word. Let's just start with the pitching staff. Trevor Bauer, they acquired in the offseason. They didn't even need him. They're coming off of a World Series win, but I mean, seriously, this team is insane. Okay, Trevor Bauer, they just got him. After Trevor Bauer, you obviously still have guys like Clayton Kershaw, who was a former multiple-time Cy Young winner. You still have David Price, who's coming off of an injury. You're going to have Julio Urias playing for this team this year. You're going to have Corey Knebel, Walker Buehler, Tommy Kahnle, who is disgusting. And, I mean, we didn't even mention Dustin May. Dustin May is going to be a guy that's going to come out of the bullpen for this Dodgers team. He would start on legitimately every other MLB team. So it's insane that he's in this place for the club this year. But if we go to the offensive side of the ball, you're going to have your beast third baseman, Justin Turner. You're going to have guys like Mookie Betts out in center field. You still have Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager. Like those guys alone are insane. But on top of this, Will Smith has looked great this spring. Chris Taylor has looked great. Gavin Lux is a young guy out of Kenosha who I don't think has even, really risen to his full potential yet in the MLB. And I think he has the potential to become a star. Yeah, what more do I really have to say? I didn't even mention Mac. This team is insane. They are so good. They have good guys in every single department of this roster. They're coached by Dave Roberts. I mean, what is there not to like? Plus, this year they're going to benefit from playing a bunch of games against the Diamondbacks, Giants, and Rockies. They're going to have a ton of wins. They're going to definitely be the one seed out of the National League. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers at least make a World Series run again this year. Their team is that good to repeat. After that, second place, we have the San Diego Padres. The Padres were the best free agency team this year. I mean, they got guys. They got Yu Darvish. They picked up Blake Snell from Tampa Bay. They picked up Mike Clevenger actually last year. They still managed to get guys like Kim Ha-Swung. This team is going to be great. Last year, they broke that stretch where they hit like 4 or 5 grand slams 5 days in a row. It was insane. Notable guys though on this team are going to be Fernando Tatis. He's sort of the face of this franchise. You're going to have young guys like Jake Cronensworth coming up this year. You still have older guys like Eric Hosmer, Will Myers, Chris Paddock is I guess getting up there in age. Tommy Pham was here last year. He looked nasty. This team's going to be good, okay? But the pitching is where I think this team's really going to stand out. Oh, I didn't even mention Manny Machado. Manny Machado is a guy that they got back in 2018 who I think finally has the roster around him to really build and push for a deep run. Let's look at this roster. Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, Clevenger, Danielson Lamet, who was not talked about last year but a disgusting pitcher, Chris Paddock. I mean, this starting rotation is going to be disgusting. They have everything you want in starting rotation. They have guys in the pen like Mark Melanson, Ryan Weathers, Keon Kayla. This team's going to be disgusting. Drew Pomeranz, I didn't even mention him. He's still on this team. Yeah, they're going to be a great team. They're going to be fun to watch. I think this team's going to finish right around 98-64, which is amazing. It's going to be second place for this division. But, I mean, in any other division, they'd win their division. Legitimately, this team is insane. And like we said, same thing with the Dodgers. They're going to benefit from playing the Diamondbacks, the Giants, and the Rockies a ton. So, second place, we have the Padres. Third place, let's move over. We're going to pick the Arizona Diamondbacks. Not much I really have to say with this team. They're not that great roster-wise compared to the rest of the teams in this league. I mean, this division and this league, really. Pitching, they have an aging Madison Bumgarner who is stuck on a bad deal for this team. Zach Gallen, unfortunately, just got hurt literally like Tuesday. Zach Greinke, he is incredibly good year in and year out, but there's just no one else like around him. It's tough. Hitting-wise, on that side of the ball, you have Ketel Marte, who is their most notable player legitimately. Christian Walker is going to be very productive. David Peralta, he had a bit of a down year in 2020, but he'll be back in my opinion. He'll be fine. He'll be ready to go. Cole Calhoun also is going to be a decent guy for you. I mean, they have Joakim Soria coming out of the pen. Nick Ahmed is an underrated guy, I think. Yeah, this team isn't going to be great. They'll be good. And that's just what I have to say about this team. They'll be good, but I think they're going to finish 72 and 90. And, you know, let's put this team in the NL Central. Let's put this team in the AL West or something. This team would be looking a lot better, but because they're stuck here in the NL West, which has the two best teams in baseball, I just don't see this team being very productive. I don't see them making a push for anything, and I see them becoming sort of basement dwellers. After that, we have in fourth place the San Francisco Giants. No surprise. I think the Giants are sort of in a similar boat like the Reds. They have Asian guys in this team that are just former shells of themselves from like the early 2010s. This team is just not what it used to be. You have Buster Posey at catcher, who is old. Mike Yastrzemski in right field, who is a young guy that is actually pretty underrated. He'll put up some good numbers for this team. Tommy La Stella, they acquired. Kurt Casale. Brandon Crawford shouldn't be playing shortstop. He should definitely be playing, first base, maybe third base. He's just not athletic at this point in time. He's just so old. Brandon Belt shouldn't be playing first base. He's old. Marcio DeBone, he's a young guy that I think will be exciting for this team. Alex Wood is a pitcher that I'm excited for. So, they have some young guys coming up who I think will provide this team with a good amount of entertainment. Kevin Gausman is their starter, their ace. He is their opening day guy. I think he's an underrated guy for this team. I think he fits in real nicely. But that's all I got to say. This Giants team isn't going to be anything special. I don't think they're much worse than the Diamondbacks, though, so don't get it twisted. I put the Giants right at 70 and 92, and I put the Diamondbacks right at 72 and 90. I think these teams are definitely within 2 or 3 games of each other, so that's why I have those placements there. And in last place, probably the worst team in the MLB this year, we have the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies lost Nolan Arenado. He was their best player, miles ahead of anyone else on this roster. Okay, they have really no one left. They didn't have any pitching before Nolan Arenado left. They still don't have any pitching. They still have Trevor Story and Charlie Blackmon, who are just going to play essentially worthless seasons. They're just wasting their contract years. I mean, it's not like this team is going to push for anything, let's be honest here. You still have Brendan Rodgers at shortstop. He's serviceable. CJ Cron at first base is going to hit a good amount of knocks for this Rockies team. But yeah, when your headline pitching guys are Austin Gomber, Kyle Freeland, and John Gray, it's like, what are you doing? This team is not going to do anything special at all. They're cursed with playing the Dodgers and Padres a ton. I don't think they're going to be like 250 against those teams. If that, they're not going to be good. This team's just going to be bad. Weak roster. Hopefully they can start to rebuild, and maybe we see another good Rockies team like Arenado and Blackmon in 5-6 years. They didn't get it done with this core, and it sucks to see, but what are you going to do? It's mainly the front office's fault. They probably should have kept Nolan down, and they still struggle to get pitching around their core. So there you go, guys. That's the video. Thank you for sticking around to the end if you did. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at chicagocarl.yt. Check us out on Twitter at chicagocarl. Have a nice day. Be nice to each other. I'm out.